Wow. Say, the Spirit of God is upon me. Spirit of God is upon me. I like to go like this. The Spirit of God is upon me, and then do something like this. Can you do that? Can you stand up and do that if you want? The Spirit of God is upon me. The Spirit of God is upon me. Loving God is ecstasy, it's bliss, it's the way we want to be. And you know what? You can be it today. There's no waiting. You don't need to wait till Easter. Easter begins today. And our spiritual awakening begins the instant we decide once and for all that we're infinitely free. And why wouldn't we choose love? Like, why not? We've made up a whole world that's picturing back to us the choice for fear and the choice of the ego. And right beside that, in our minds, lies the kingdom and the queendom of heaven, of the ever expanding realm of good. And we just need to choose it such that it becomes all that we are. And last week we talked about the requirement of going through the eye of the needle, and that eye is simply to choose love. To return to an innocence as God created us. And that innocence says that you never left home. That innocence says you don't need to prove yourself to God or to anybody else. That innocence tells us, just as the ideal parent tells the child, baby doll, I love you. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to become anything the world will tell you to do or become. I already love you. And that's what the Creator is saying to the created. In each and every moment, I already gave it to you. You already got it all. There's nowhere to go, nowhere to seek, nowhere to hide. You can choose all those things if you'd like, beloved. But what we find, as the reading suggests, is we find our greatest bliss, happiness, and joy out of the alignment with the mind of God. So why fight it anymore? Come home, beloved. And the moment we make that decision, we're home. That very instant. Now, we're going to talk about it a little bit, especially during this Lent season. What are we turning from, and what are we turning to? You know, there's a teaching in A Course in Miracles, and in my version of the book, it starts on chapter 23. It's called A New Beginning. And I thought, why did it wait all this time to cut to the chase and tell me how to begin again, how to begin anew? And it took this much, 22 previous chapters, to distinguish for me what a choice for fear, the choice of separation, the choice of the ego, the choice of just the aspect of ourselves that believes it could ever go away from God consciousness and live on its own and you know, make stuff up. Well, yeah, we can do that, and here's what it looks like. And then here's what choosing love looks like. We are at infinite freedom to choose, and we awaken the moment we decide, more consistently than not, leading to solely deciding to teach only love. And in this chapter, in the new beginning, it says, start your day out. And you just pause and take a breath, which we do all the time, right? We model that all the time. We pause, we take a breath. And the question is, what do I want? It's another way of saying, what does love want for me today? Want and desire, very similar energies to love. What do I want? And imagine and feel and have that feeling tone that it's already yours. ... because it is, right? But then you go about your day and something happens and you get irritated and you forgot what you decreed earlier in the day. That ever happened to anybody? No? Yeah. Never. Remember, we're communicating all the time and there are no private thoughts. We know, because we're always broadcasting what we're choosing. And so it says if that happens, if you find that you're misaligned, go back to the beginning and remind yourself with what voice you made your decision. It takes a couple pages later of dense material to say this, so I'm going to cut to the chase. You and me, we never make a decision alone. We just don't. We think we do. We think we're autonomous because we're told that we have infinite freedom. But the infinite freedom is that we get to choose what voice we're aligned with. Is it the voice for God or the voice for fear? Is it the voice for love or the voice for anxiety and depression, separation? Which voice are we choosing to make the decision with? Who have you partnered with? When I was younger, and I still do this today, but I'm going to call my younger self out. Decisions were daunting to me. I didn't know how to make a decision. I felt very confused. I didn't like ordering when there was a big menu. I couldn't decide what I wanted. I always thought, wouldn't it be nice if I could have a pen and, okay, I don't want that, I don't want that, I want this, I want that, maybe. And then anybody who's dined with me, I interview the waiter or the waitress and I say, what would you pick? What's good on the menu? What would you like? I ask who I'm with. And it's like I have a big, it's a big process. It can be. And so when I was younger, I would poll take. I would take polls. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think I found out? Everybody has a different opinion, which adds to the issue, right? Oh, I never thought of it that way, right? So here I am, I'm leading this community. We had, I don't know how many people we had in my office this morning. Linda Tucci was the prayer chaplain. She was holding a space. Ardell was there. You guys were there, Denise and Floyd and Mary and, oh gosh, Gail, you were there. And we had some members of the sound team in there. My office, I love my office. It was full. It was full. But the moment I walked in my full office, already occupied, I felt love. I didn't feel alone. I didn't feel like all this was on me. And I humbled myself and remembered that I don't really do any of this. Not a darn thing. And the most important thing that a minister, a prayer chaplain, the person sitting next to you, and you can do is moment by moment, breath by breath, align with who you wish to make your decisions in life with. Is it love? Or is it fear and separation? We walk not alone. I call myself a collaborative leader because I still do want to hear what everybody has to say. And take it all into consideration. And then I take my walk. And sometimes when all that happens, stuff bubbles up. Like, who moved the chairs? Didn't that bubble up this morning? We're like, what happened? Where'd all the chairs go up here? And I said, I'm going to have to stand on the floor then because I'm going to want to be near you guys. Because I feel you. I feel you. And in that alignment, in that pausing, in that anchoring, in that choosing the voice that we're going to listen to, it's really important to then do nothing. To do nothing. We need that pause. We need an acclamation. We need a moment where we have interrupted our knee-jerk reactionary way of being to allow a holy tryst with spirit so that you, we can feel the energy of this shift. And know that it is this that moves us in the world. It's this that moves us in the world to our divine right action, to our divine right way of being, so that we are not perpetuating the making of a world based in fear. And it's one thought, one moment, one breath at a time. I know we want right now, do we not? The world changes the instant we change our mind and align with the voice for God, which has something to do with love, something to do with peace, something to do with divine right action too. But we pause, and in the beginning, it's like a child learning how to walk. And for us to walk again, it just takes practice of remembering. That's all. Moment by moment, breath by breath. We have a need to do nothing but this. So, in our infinite freedom, being the creators of our experience, our first axiom tells us that in each and every moment we're creating our experience. And so we've been practicing pausing for 5 minutes every hour, or 5 minutes every time you just happen to remember this practice. And just look around and remember you're the creator of your experience. The song said, who told you you had to? Who told you you should? We are pausing so that we can remember we're the creators of our experience, and whatever it is we think we're experiencing will depend on which voice we're listening to. It is that simple. The Spirit of the Lord is upon us. The Spirit of the Lord is upon us. Conjure up the music that was just playing, the choir that was just singing. Yeah, you're still swaying with it. The Spirit of the Lord is upon us. The Spirit of the Lord is upon us. These words were inspired by Isaiah the prophet, who was speaking to the Israelites who had just come out of exile, who had been traumatized, who were removed from their home and cast forth into a foreign land, told not to remember who they were, to erase their identity. They were a little, probably dizzy. Oh my God, we're free. Now what? And Isaiah says, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me. As a prophet, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, and that Spirit is telling me to teach good, to speak words of good. So those who may not feel so good hear your words, so that the poor may hear your words of prosperity and abundance, so that you can be restored and remember that all good has already been given you. There's a pausing. We need the prophet to tell us and to demonstrate for us that the Spirit of the Lord is upon him, but upon you too. 700 years later, at the beginning of what we know as Jesus' ministry of healing, he walks into his old hometown. You know, have you ever gone back home where you grew up geographically and you go back and all you see is the past? But worse, everybody sees you from the past. They can't see who you are today. It's uncomfortable awakening. You got to lose your playgrounds and your playmates because your former associates are going to see you from your past. Unless they choose differently, but if they do, you got to walk away and walk on because you're dedicating your life to teaching only love. And if people can't see you in the love that you are today, you got to walk away. You must rise and be who you are now. And it's as if Jesus walked into his old hometown and he knew already who he was. He had been through his baptism where the literal Spirit of the Lord came upon him, washed away everything from the past. Don't look back there. Don't look back. You will freeze and you will project it upon your now. You have to take your now of love, your now of the choice for God, the now of the voice for love, and be exclusive. You're in an exclusive Valentine, you're my beloved relationship with it, and it with you. It's a committed relationship. I'm teaching only love. This is who I am now. Now I go back to my hometown, my old hometown. They see me from the past. He's just that carpenter's son. Who is he? And he, honoring Sabbath as a good Jewish boy, not on Sunday, I almost said on Sunday, but at some point went into the synagogue, was handed scripture, opens the scripture up to Isaiah. The Lord is upon us. And he spoke the scripture, which I'm going to speak it now. I'm going to have you listen to it with me now. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me because the Lord has anointed me to preach good tidings to the poor. He sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prisons, not the creating of more prisons, the opening of the prisons to those who are bound, to proclaim the acceptance of the year of the Lord, to comfort those who mourn, to be the trees of righteousness that the Lord has planted. We are the trees of righteousness that the Lord has planted. We are free, and we return to our divine identity. The captors no longer have us. We are free. infinitely now free. And so when Jesus spoke the scripture, he closed the book and he proclaimed, today this scripture is fulfilled. It is fulfilled by what? By you being able to hear it. The Spirit of the Lord is upon each of us. We are each the anointed one. We are each here to speak this truth, that it may serve our brothers and sisters in the world right now. And it just begins with that beginning. Which voice am I listening to? Which voice am I listening to?